I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do this. We're gonna flip this around. I'm gonna get you guys under the. There we go. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to get you guys. I'll probably have to hold you. We're gonna be hitting the Florida-Georgia line in about 27 minutes. 27 minutes. We're hitting the Florida-Georgia line, and I wanted all of you guys to be with me. Okay, I'm sorry. This is such a milestone for Bullhorn Betty and crew, right? It's been a long time coming, so I wanted to make sure that you guys got to take this ride with me. Let me clean the camera off. Of that, I ended up going to the map. So I wanted to make sure you all got to be with me for the Florida-Georgia line crossing. The last time we were right about here. We were right about here when we broke down. Actually, I think we're right in the same spot where he broke down last time. I really do. I think we're right in the same exact spot that we broke down last time. We were 30 minutes away from the Florida-Georgia line when the car went kaput, right? That was awful. I was so devastated. And then everything just spiraled out of control from that point forward. It was insane. But we're back to where it all began. 3 months ago, right? 3 months ago. I feel like this is deja vu, but in almost like a different car, because this car is driving like a dream. But we're gonna go. We're gonna cross over together, y'all. We're gonna cross over together. I'll let you know when we get a little closer. Thank you guys for coming over here and hanging out here on the crime story side. This is where we're gonna I'll have another couple lives over here, and then we should be in the area, and I'll go live when we get into the area. It should be interesting. But we're gonna go kind of under the radar, and then we'll get out in the woods. I gotta imagine there's a lot of woods, but there's some concentrated areas that I want. But I'm now starting to see Chris a little clearer, and 17 hours. 17 hours. And 7 of those hours, so 10 solid hours he would have had. 10. I can't for the life of me. But you know, when it comes back, some of the stuff they're talking about, freezers and stuff, and I'm trying to figure out where he would have access to one, and he would not have access to one in the camper. So, I'm praying to God that, some of these things aren't true, won't pan out, but, now that we have the idea it could, that does mean something, it means something greatly, and so it changes how we search. That's all, and it sucks, because it means it's going to be a little more time consuming and a little more tedious than just doing our normal walkthrough, looking for boxes, Tupperware, items that, soft ground, disturbed ground, stuff like that. That's just our normal search. It's big stuff. It's stuff you can't miss. And we add a different element in, it slows the process down, because now you're going to have to make sure that you're moving grass and checking under leaves, and small items have to be kind of flipped and searched, and that sucks, because we're already coming out here and we're already behind the 8 ball because it took us forever to get out here. Then we're already on a time constraint, because I've got to be back here. I got to go to New York in July, so I've got until, I need to be back home by July 2nd, because I don't want to be fighting with July 3rd, July 4th traffic, and I've got to be back to have enough time to get everything washed and repacked for me to walk out the door on the 8th or the 9th. So it's not leaving me a whole lot of time to be here, and so I think slowing down the search process sucks. And it just sucks. Everything just kind of sucks, because we we have to now look. It's a different search. That's all there is to it. It's just a different type of search that we need to do. So, hey guys, it's nice to see you all. I'm just kind of chilling out. You guys are about to hit the Florida-Georgia line with me. So this was such a milestone for us because we've been trying to hit this line for 4 months. And it took us a lot of time, aggravation, tears, and more importantly, a lot of money to get us to this point. So I figured if anybody was going to enjoy this milestone with me, it was going to be the channel. Okay, it was going to be the channel. So we're going to be crossing the Florida-Georgia line together today. You guys are going to be with me. I've got you guys seated in a different seat, which I kind of realized I probably should have started the camera a different way, but once it's set, it's set. Don't ask me why. I don't know why I decided to go vertical today instead of horizontal. I don't know. We just did a horizontal one. I figured out. I don't know. I don't know. But a few more minutes, guys. How much time is it? Okay, so we had 27 minutes, so we're down to about 20 minutes. So you guys are going to stick with me about 20 minutes. And when we start getting a little closer to the Florida-Georgia line, I'm going to flip the phone. I'm going to unseat you guys and flip the phone so you guys can go across the line with me. I figured it'd be something we could do together. So I'm excited. I don't know what else to say. I'm excited. And you guys see this big old smile on my face because it's been a long time coming, right? We've been, like right here, I'm looking at a sign that says Valdosta, 28 miles away. I mean, like we're almost to Georgia. We got 6 miles. Well, 6 miles to 143, but then I think it's like, I don't know, like less than, maybe 10 miles, 12 miles, something like that, before we cross the Florida-Georgia line. It's kind of, well, no, it's got to be about 20 miles, because we do about at 70 miles an hour, I think it's about a mile a minute. So if something's 20 minutes away or whatever, it's usually, that's about how many miles it is. And it's starting to get like traffic right here as we're starting to get into Georgia. And I know what it is because when you start going to Georgia, I'll tell you guys a secret. You know what the secret is in Georgia not to get a speeding ticket? Drive the speed limit. There's your tip from Bullhorn Betty. I'll tell you guys a lot of stuff, but you know what? If you don't want a ticket in Georgia, best thing to do is drive the speed limit, because if they see you, they pulling you over, okay? There's no playing with Georgia law enforcement. Doesn't matter how pretty you are, doesn't matter how good looking you are, doesn't matter about your rack either, baby, because they got a rack in the back of their car bigger than yours, okay? So I'm just saying, whenever you're in Georgia, best thing to do, just don't speed, okay? Let the Georgia people speed where they know they can get away with it at. You on these interstates, you ain't getting away with jack crap. They come out of the bushes, okay? You're driving, you're minding your own business, and then boom, you got Georgia State PD, right? Yeah, no, it's Georgia State Patrol, State Troopers. There it is, Georgia State Troopers. They're on your butt. They don't play. And I don't know how they hide. They got some. They seem like they're pretty, observant. I don't know where they hide, but they come out of the bushes. I mean, they really do. I don't play in Georgia. Well, I kind of do. I won't lie. I do. I don't speed there. I do, but I do it in the warning area. I don't know if you know this, but this is why you should know your law. They have warning areas. So that means that you can drive XYZ, but if you drive over this, you'll get a warning as long as you're under this. But if you're over this, you get a ticket. So I always make sure I get myself in the warning area just in case I happen to see one of those handsome officers, flash me over, and I'll take the ticket, the warning ticket. I don't want the real one. That's why I drive the speed limit, kind of, sort of. So I'll go like 3 miles over the speed limit. That's what I'll do. I'll do like a 73. That's it. Like I don't play. The only time I ever accidentally go over 73, I got the cruise control, is when I forget I'm in Georgia and I take the cruise control off. That is the only time. And then, I'll look at my phone and it'll say, I'll look at the Google Maps and it'll say speed trap ahead. I'm like, oh crap, that's right, I'm still in Georgia. 72. 72, pull all the way over to the slow lane. Make sure that officer knows I'm not trying to speed, sir. I'm not trying to speed. I'm just trying to get ahead a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm telling you, I got stories. But none is as funny as the one that I remember it being in North Carolina, but I don't remember what Olivia and I, maybe we must have went over to, I don't remember. Olivia and I were together for a trip, and we only been on trips without mom just like a handful of times. I don't even think I think it's maybe like 2 or 3 times. Like mom is always with us when we're together. But there was the trip to Idaho, and the only reason why we couldn't take mom is because somebody needed to stay with Remy, and the cost, like literally the plane ticket was so damn expensive. You had to take a freaking, almost a mortgage out to go over to Idaho. So 2 tickets were enough for us, and we just couldn't afford the 3rd ticket. That's what it came down to. So affordability. My mom wasn't with us in Idaho. But I feel like we went somewhere, because I remember it was a North Carolina officer. I remember I was going, but you know what? It seems like it must have been in Idaho, because I remember that's when we had snow and everything on the ground. I can't remember. I'm so confused. I have to talk to Olivia to see if she remembers where we got pulled over at. I thought it was North Carolina officer, but I'm wondering if it's an Idaho State Trooper or something like that. I can't remember. But I remember Olivia was sitting next to me. I'm telling you, if she wasn't sitting next to me, she didn't get the right eye of that cop, I'd have had a ticket. He gave me a warning. And I know it was from Olivia. I know it was Olivia. I'm like, Olivia, just smile. Right? I'll use her as bait any chance I get. I tell her it all the time. So, I don't want to hear anything. Hey guys, I see you guys are in chat. If you guys are wondering what you guys are here for, we have not made it over the Florida-Georgia line just yet, but we're going to. And this has been almost a 4-month process to get our asses over this line. And we are almost over this line now, short of this car getting hit by lightning, okay? This car has ran perfectly. And I mean perfectly. It's run smooth. I get it. I need to slow. I slow. Car running good. Car has been just about rebuilt. Honestly. So I think once I do the water pump like that, like the only things left that are so minor at this point, if anything breaks on it, it's going to be like the water pump's leaking a little bit. So I know that needs to be repaired. We got the water pump, the radiator, and the alternator. Oh, here we go. sound this whole time? Have I been talking? When did the sound pop off? I've been talking this whole time. I was wondering what all this red button.
There's a stalled vehicle ahead.
Well, we made it to Florida, Georgia. Okay, that's what I was screaming. Now I'm upset because you guys didn't hear my happy. I was happy. I said everything went out without a hitch. I said we haven't had no major problems yet. While we were having a major problem of no microphone. I'm upset. You were trying. Oh yeah. There's no point in calling my phone. I turned my phone off. I turned all my Google phones off. I turned all my phone is like like nobody can get me. Like even if the president of the United States was calling me right now, he would not be able to get into my phone. I lock my stuff down. I lock my stuff down. It keeps me safe. So when I'm on the road. But either way, I just sounded like Chris Proudfoot. I just realized I sounded for Proudfoot. Oh my gosh. Down. We're strict around here. Yeah, you guys can hear that, huh? Funny how that happens. One of you gremlins got in here and turned off my microphone. But did you guys see we crossed? Did you guys hear me screaming, or was I already muted by then? No, you guys heard me. I think I muted when I went to go put you guys into the seat because it's so hard because it's got a little like spring on there and you got to try to open. I think that's when I muted myself. So I think it was after we crossed the Florida Georgia line that I muted myself. I didn't realize it. I can't see. These are not reading glasses. I brought some sunglass reading glasses, but I don't want to put them on because they're reading glasses, not driving glasses. So that means every time I look up, it's blurry. I'd rather have you guys blurry than the road. I'm just saying. I had to make decisions here. I've been making a lot of bad decisions lately. I think this was the right one. I don't know about you. Ooh, pecans, $5.99 a pound. My aunt has black walnuts. She has black walnut trees, and I gotta tell you, you want to talk about like a fire pit that smells heavenly? Oof. That walnut wood. I bet you, grilling a hot dog in a fire over a fire flame over some walnut wood. I bet you that hot dog would taste good. I'm not a hot dog eater at all. I used to eat hot dogs, and then I watched The Great Outdoors, and when Dan Aykroyd said what a hot dog was, that was it for me. Like, I'll eat a hot dog if it's like, if I'm hungry and it's the only thing there is to eat, I'll eat it. But I will eat dirt almost before I eat a freaking hot dog because of Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd scarred me for life. And it was when they were getting ready, and he wanted lobsters, and John Candy wanted hot dogs and hamburgers. And he goes and he says, hot dogs are lips and assholes. That was it for me. That was it for me. Just saying. And I don't care how much they put all beef on that. It doesn't matter which lips or which assholes they came from, whether they're beef assholes or lips, or pig assholes or lips, or a freaking beak and a chicken butt. I don't care. That was enough for me. I'll stick with the hamburgers, thank you. Every cookout from that point on was hamburgers or cheeseburgers. It was no longer hamburgers or hot dogs. It's like, which would you prefer, a hamburger or a cheeseburger? Why, thank you. I'll take a cheeseburger. Thank you, Mom and Dad. But I will still eat a hot dog. If I go to like an event and there's like hot dogs being served, I'll eat it. It's hard, and I mean that in a very. It's just hard to do for me. Say everything left over. Yeah. That's it. They say it's everything. That's exactly it, and that's why I'm like no. And then like even the all beef hot, like I don't care. I don't care if you're all beef. I don't care if you're pork, chicken, and beef. I don't care if you're all beef. I don't care if you're all pork. I don't care if you're all chicken. Doesn't matter. It's the part of the body I have the problem with. Okay? Okay? I'm not saying it ain't good. I stop at assholes, okay? Yeah, you know, I always tell everybody to kiss mine, but I ain't eating it. Sorry. Even my phone said no. Even my phone said no. Let me tighten this back up. This must be heating up a little bit. It's plastic, and these plastic ones, they don't hold in there as you know, with the heat as these magnets do. But the problem is with these magnets is that the radiant heat from the windows hit the magnet, and it heats up your phone. And so your phone is 10 times hotter than if it was. So I put, whenever I'm running the map as well as the phone, as like running a live, I seat it in a plastic one that's not connected to anything hot. Like the plastic doesn't heat up. It absorbs the heat, or it disperses the heat better than like a magnet. A magnet gets like, it's almost like metal out in the sun. It gets super, super hot. So I like this little doohickey over here, and I can turn it, you know, I can turn it on the side too, but I like it especially during hot days because it keeps the phone cooler. It's not attached to a magnet. It's not attached to the window. It's not, it's kind of, all it is a little clip that's on my rear view mirror. And it's got a little hand clip thing and different little angles that you can move at certain different areas. It does like a 360, but it's all, you know, it's all plastic, which kind of sucks, which means it'll probably break apart from the heat, you know, in just like a year or two. Florida heat, it's no joke. It's no joke. And I've had my tripods in here because my car's been worked on. I forgot to take them out, and I'm hoping the heat hasn't ruined those. But we'll find out at this. I figured if it does, I mean, a tripod at Walmart's like 40 or 45 bucks. It's not a big deal. If one of mine breaks on the road, I'll just have to buy another one. So, but I brought an extra one. I know Jen donated one to the channel, and I always bring that one. That's the one I always, because it's so lightweight. That's the one I travel with. Like when I gotta go on a plane, it's super. The only thing I don't like about it is that it is super lightweight. So like wind can catch it. But I'm glad I've got it because there's no way I could take my other tripods. They're too heavy and too bulky. This one like literally collapses down to like maybe like 16 inches. And it's so super light that putting it in my bag doesn't really add a lot of weight to it. It's perfect. And it's a tripod that stands just as high as my other one. It's just ultra lightweight. Perfect. Again, perfect for traveling. But when we have a windy day, not so much. But I always have like little bags and Ziplocs and stuff. And if nothing more, I always have latex gloves. And what is that? What am I trying to say? Well, when you have a situation like that, all you do is just fill something up with a little sand and make yourself sandbags. And it'll weight your tripod down. So even if it's lightweight, you have a way of weighting yourself down so it doesn't blow away. So again, I like the more sturdy one whenever I'm out in the field, especially in Florida. But that one Jen's got, that she got me, is literally my go-to travel tripod. It is a godsend because, again, tripods are bulky. This one collapses all the way down. It's ultra lightweight, perfect for flying. So, anyways, and I think that has some of the same connections that my, which is pretty cool, that my, like it has these type of connections on it. So I can actually use pieces for off the tripod, like even the holder for the phone. I can use it for my vest, like my, I don't know, the harness, the chest harness, the chest plate. I can use the holder from her phone, unhook that, and put it on my my chest plate that I use for my GoPro, and I can now convert that chest plate into a phone holder. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm really happy. And so I'm going to try chest plate with me. I'm going to try to hook up one of the, I got 2 different adapters to it. One was for a phone, so I'm going to see if I can adapt at least one phone on my chest plate so you guys can roll with me exactly how I'm seeing it. That would be kind of cool if I could get that done, because you guys are always, always plugged into batteries, so I never worry. Even my hotspot, it stays plugged into a battery, so my batteries last 30 hours. Like, one of my batteries probably lasts longer than that. So the whole entire time I'm out in the field, we are basically, well, we're wired, but we're on battery. We're running off pure battery out there. So it's cool. We're not attached to really anything. We can be mobile. We can be mobile in life for literally hours. And I never risk it either. I never risk it. My lips are starting to peel. I forgot to put hydrochloric acid. I brought my hydrochloric acid with me, but I need to put it on tonight. My lips are getting a little peeled. They've been healing a lot better. Like, the stuff that's peeling off now is not really re-peeling it that much. I really do like that therapy. It's something that Olivia turned me on to, and it's hydrochloric acid. It's what I use for my face, but she told me to put it on my lips, a little bit on my lips, and let it absorb in, and then seal it with Vaseline. And I don't have Vaseline. I had I can't remember. It's like Aquaphora and Blistex. So I've tried it both. I actually prefer the medicated Blistex. It's the one that had the best results with that. But I think Vaseline might have worked better, but I can't find my Vaseline. I don't even know where it's at. So I only got a little tiny thing of it, but I think it was in my purse that got stolen out of my car. So it is what it is. All right, guys. Well, I'm glad you guys came in and popped in for a little bit. We were just wanting to celebrate making it over the Florida-Georgia line, and we're still rolling, and it's still been such a pleasant drive. I mean, literally, I've had no problems. It was a little nerve-wracking because we haven't made it out of the state of Florida, and so now I feel confident in her. I think she's. I don't think we're going to have a problem. We may have some minor problems, like maybe those items, like I said, that might break down over time, which is the radiator and the water pump. I think everything else is pretty much on top, because the starter's right there on top, the thermostat's right there on top. Those are the other small items that might go out, over time. And then, of course, my air conditioning, it's aging with the car, so I anticipate that being the next major repair would be the compressor in the AC of the car, and that's going to be about $800 to $900. But there's no way that I would ever drive a vehicle living in Florida without AC. It's just, I can't do it. I can't do it. And driving down the interstate and having all that, because I'm deaf in one of my ears, and my good ear, driving down the interstate, it bothers my ears with the windows open. So I would be literally in a closed sauna. It would suck. So that's just, the mechanic said it's fine, but he can see it's aging. He can hear that it's, it's making more noise than it should. But it's just, we're just going to ride, there's no point in, preemptively replacing it. It's just one of those items that once it, you should run it until it goes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run it until it goes, and once it goes, then we'll fix it, because he said the way it's running, I could get another year out of it, So he would never want to replace it if I can get another year out of it and put that cost off. So we'll see. But once it goes, we'll get it fixed. It's not a big deal. It kind of sucks, but. All right, guys, I think that's all I really want to talk about. We came over the Florida-Georgia line. Everybody was, laughing whether Black Beauty would make it. And yeah, we spent a lot of money for her to make it. And she made it. She made it without a hitch. I mean, she's driving like a dream, y'all. I mean, she really is. I'm very, 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 very pleased. It took us a little, like I said, it took us a little while to get here. It was just one thing after another, I've been taking good care of her, but apparently everything just we kept fixing it, putting a new part in, and an old part would break. I mean, it was a very miserable experience, I have to tell you. But what do? You know? I remember that being in plumbing. I remember doing the soldering. Oh, good God. I remember having to put in a line, a water line on a freaking hot water heater. And I was trying to salvage the old copper. I should have just replaced the entire copper and just resoldered it. But I just wanted to put this joint in it and just repair it that way. And it was like, you know, every time I went to put the soldering on the pipe, it would start a pinhole down further in a porous spot of the pipe, and I was just fighting it to the point that it just needed to be all cut out, and just the whole entire thing just needed to be replaced. That sucked, and I felt like, you know, and that was for I won't say anything, but that was for somebody else that I was having that problem with, and I was being paid for the job, by the way, but it just really burnt my ass because I ended up replacing all the copper, you know. But I felt like that. I felt like that with the car. Like every time I went to soldering, I had my rag. You know, people were like, "Oh, did you make sure you wet the rag and put on it?" Yes, I know how to deal with plumbing pipes. Okay. Yes, I made sure that the pipe was sweated. Yes, I made sure that there was a damp rag. So yes, I did everything I was supposed to do. Just for the people that are gonna say, well, you know, that sounds like you didn't do this. I did what I was supposed to do. And it was like every time I put it was just, I didn't realize how bad the pipe was. It was just porous, and every time I fixed one leak, another leak would pop up. So after messing with it for an hour, I just cut it all out and ended up redoing all the copper. Of course, I was young. I would have charged him for all of that, but of course, you know, naturally I thought it was something I was doing wrong, which it wasn't. And so I ended up eating all that copper that I put in that on the job. But I still made a little bit of money off of it, but it sucked. It really did. So that was a really long time ago, but it was my experience in the plumbing world that you know, because I've done plumbing and electrical are probably the trades that I do the absolute best. I don't like doing either one of them, but it's something I can do. I'll always ever have the knowledge for, and can always make money. Always make money with that. Even unlicensed, you're still allowed to do certain jobs as an unlicensed, like handyman. There's certain jobs you can't do, like that plumbing job. That was a plumbing job that a master, you know, that a plumber should have done, a licensed plumber should have done, but it was for a friend for a few bucks, and I knew how to do it. So it's a whole different scenario than me doing it for a client that was paying me. That's I mean, I shouldn't have been paid anything anyways. You know, you can work for a friend, and they can do the repairs themselves and oversee people too. There's a way around even contracting work by having the homeowner at the property when the repairs are being done, because they're allowed to make their own home repairs without a licensed contractor. So they can do that if they so chose. So there is always that. So just FYI, I always believe anybody that has the ability to make money on their own, go out and make money. If you have a craft, you should be opening up a business. Even if you're working a full-time job, if you ever have a plan on having your own business, start doing it on nights and weekends, and until it starts getting busy enough until you can take off and ditch the 9 to 5. I believe home ownership. I believe the American dream. I believe job security. There's nobody that's going to secure your job better than you. I'm sorry. You know, trusting corporations. You always believe that the corporations have your back until they don't. Until it's more financially responsible for them to fire all the people that have been there 20 and 30 years so they don't have to pay them in retirement and stupid crap like that. You know, I've heard some dirty stuff corporations have done to their employees, their faithful employees. And, you know, I just keep thinking about, you know, you're putting a lot of stock into somebody else that isn't putting that much stock into you. I always believe that being your own boss and setting, you know, making the sky's the limit. And if you have the ability to do something that you love versus doing something you have to do to pay the bills, you can turn that something you love into paying your bills. And it all starts with doing stuff on the nights and weekends and having a passion for it, and, you know, honing your craft and getting the clientele up. You know, that's how I started the handyman business. It's how I started my insurance business. It's how I started a lot of businesses, you know. Now I've just gotten to the point where you know, I've got everything. I've had everything paid off since my 30s, and so it's giving me the ability to, you know, not have to be so dependent on a 9-to-5 gig. You know, my bills are ultra low now. You know, I only pay taxes on the house. I don't really have homeowners insurance. If anything happens to my house, I pay for it out of pocket, like I did with my roof. And you know, the money I've saved over having to pay $4,000 a year for homeowners insurance, 4 or 5 years paid for my roof, right? So for the next 15 years, I have all that savings for the next 15 years. And I spent so little on my home, to be honest with you. If it did blow over, I would just rebuild a newer, bigger home, to be honest with you, on the same lot. So, I mean, I look at my liability, and my liability is so low that it gives me the flexibility of being able to travel, you know. It gives me, you know, even when I don't make a whole lot of money, I can still budget a trip because my bills are so low. I mean, I've got like normal bills: electric, water, cell phone, you know, car insurance, gas, groceries, but it's all for one person. You know, I don't have, you know, $400 or $500 grocery bills a month. I've got my grocery bill for a month is like $120, you know. So my electric is like, I don't know, $150. My cell phone is $65. My water's like $70. I mean, my internet's about $70. My hotspot, you know, $25 here. It's just little stuff, you know. Don't really have a whole lot. So that's that. So that's where I'm at in life. Anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna make it to Tennessee. I pray to God we find something that can help with something. You know, just something. We need something. Anything. You know, just anything. I just hope if anybody's watching this, and you guys, if you see me out there and you have a story to tell me, come up and tell me that story. I will not put you on the record. I will not. If you do not want your name, do not want your face, do not want anybody even knowing where it came from, and you have some information to tell me, tell me. I will keep you off the record. But it's all about a 15-year-old boy that needs to be found. And I truly believe the answers lie with Chris and Katie. The reason why I'm focusing so heavily on Chris is because he's the one that had the means to handle the issue. Katie would not have had the means to handle the issue. She would have been able to handle a certain aspect of it, like up until the morning, but from the morning on, she's stuck with law enforcement. She's stuck at the house. The only person that had the ability to do anything or finish anything is Christopher Proudfoot. And so I need to monitor and watch his stuff because, you know, now granted, this is all my theory. There is another absolute plausible theory of this child walking out of the home. It's a very low probability in my book on why I'm not entertaining it for this trip. But there is that possibility. And just because one thing looks one way, it could without a doubt be another. Because when we started this case, there was no way in my mind I thought Katie could possibly be responsible for harming her son physically. I figured it was her being worn down and being manipulated by Chris. But I've learned a lot about Katie, and whether I've disclosed that to you guys or not, I've learned a lot about Katie. And I don't think Katie is this innocent woman that everybody thinks she is, or the painting, the picture that they're trying to make her feel, you know, make her look like she's so weak that she needs her husband. No, she is a military trained woman that knows how to handle herself well. She knows how to speak. She knows how to speak for herself. She knows how to be manipulative. She knows how to lie. She knows how to be Chris's two peas in a pod. The fruit don't fall too far from the tree, if you get my drift. So I'm not willing to paint this lady with this pitiful eye when I think that she is capable of something horrific. And a woman capable of that is not this sweet, innocent, doughy-eyed woman that's being abused by her man. Is she being abused by her man? She could have very violent, but it could be both ways as well. You know, I'm so sick of this illusion that women can't hit back, that women can't be abusive, that all this other stuff. There are a lot of women that are out there that are abusive. I remember in the first experience I had with a woman being abusive. Yeah, I think I was like right about 18 years old, and I was over at this guy. You guys remember I was a Hot Mess Express, so I was over at this biker dude's house. His name was Leon, and he lived kind of in the ghetto, in what we would perceive in our area as the ghetto. And there was this chick, and her and her husband or her boyfriend must have been high on something, and she must have caught that he was cheating or something. I remember this because this was a pretty shocking experience for me. And I saw, and this dude was big. I mean, he was pretty big. And this girl, I mean, she was all right. She didn't look like she was that strong, but she wasn't no size 2. You know, she wasn't a freaking 20 either. You know, she was probably, I don't know, maybe a 12. If that gives you kind of body type, 5'7". And she comes out, she chases that man down, and she doesn't just beat the shit out of him. She starts taking the metal garbage can and slap over this head. I'm mortified. You know, I go into that house, I'm like, dude, it's going off there. This dude was like, just slap bloody. Not one person called the law. Not one person. They just went out there, beat the crap out of each other, took this metal garbage can, she bloodied this man all up, and they both walked back in the house like nothing happened. It was the craziest thing I had ever seen in my life. And that woman beat the living piss out of that man. This big ass man. That dude was scared. I bet you she did that quite often. That was, I don't know. Anyways. So it just is what it is, I reckon. But I think Katie and Chris both have violent tendencies. I think when they fight, it's mutual combat, honestly. And people don't believe that, you know, you think that people that put their hands on people inside a home is all about, it's domestic violence. It should not happen. But there is, in my opinion, I've seen it personally, mutual combat between the husband and the wife. They both beat the shit out of each other. You know? So, I don't know. I think that would be kind of what it is. But Katie no longer looks like a pitiful person to me. She looks like a very manipulative, lying piece of garbage that did something to her son. And I've given her, not that they have to give me the time of day, right? They don't have to give me the time of day at all. I get that. But I've given them every opportunity to at least clear that up for me. You know, I've given them every opportunity to clear that up for the world. And we're still stuck and stupid on Chris's, where Chris was, right? Why is it such a secret that this man that had nothing to do with this, that was 3.5 hours away, that was sitting in another freaking state for the love of Christ, why his timeline is so secretive? That in and of itself is suspicious to me. Nobody should have a problem spitting out, I was sleeping. Where do you think I was? I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, dum-dum. That would have been my response. Not, I can't tell you. You know, this goes to the integrity of the investigation. It could really throw the investigation off if I tell you where I was. Why would it throw the investigation off? You weren't even a party to the investigation. You're only there by proxy because you're married to the lady that lost the kid. You weren't even there. You were in a different state. You were 3.5 hours away. How is it going to go to the integrity of the investigation, dude? According to what you're trying to convince everybody, you don't matter. You got nothing to do with this case. So spit it out. Still won't do it, will he? Still won't do it. Because he doesn't want to be caught in a lie. Why doesn't he want to be caught in a lie? Because he knows this is going to be a court problem. This is going to be a court process. This is going to be a court problem. That's the only reason why he's being deceptive and very vague with his own timeline. And that's the only thing I get, unless I'm missing something. There's a Georgia State Patrol. I told you, you should have watched Bullhorn Betty. You should have watched Bullhorn Betty. You wouldn't be getting that ticket. I'm just saying. Just saying. That's going to hurt. It's coming from Georgia State Police. I told you. You know what? I told you guys. You should get a Betty in your life. You won't get no more tickets in Georgia. I tell you, secret sauce on not getting a ticket in Georgia is getting the mostly over to the furthest right lane you can pallet and put your cruise control on 74 tops. You don't want to go over 74 miles an hour. You do not want to go over 74 miles an hour in the state of Georgia. Just don't want to. Somebody just got a ticket. See? I bet you if he's watching Betty, he'd probably even matter now. I told you so. I wonder if he had a Florida license plate on. It's always Florida or South Carolina I see pulled over. Yeah, no, I see some New Jersey and New York plates. I don't know how New Jersey and New York get so fast out here in these things, because every time I go to New York, it's like a hurry up and wait situation on their roads. I don't know, like, what do you guys do? Get out of the city and just say, oh, what is this thing? Oh, it's the gas pedal. I never tried this before. I don't know. I'm asking for a few friends in Florida. All right, guys, I've been your ear enough. I just enjoy having you guys around whenever I'm on these roads, when we can have internet. And it seems like the internet, there must be a migrant bus. You guys see these buses now? They knock all the windows out of the buses. They keep all the seats in there and everybody's in there, but there's no windows. Isn't that illegal? How are they able to drive buses without any windows though? That seems like it would be like a hazard, like something could fly through there and like hit you in the head. I don't know. All right, guys, love you. God bless. See you soon. Stay here on Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. This is where I will be as we do our travels. If you're not really, really don't care about the drive, then just stay over on Bullhorn Betty's side. You guys will see me sometime tonight. If you guys want to check me out, throughout the day, see what I'm up to, do so. If I see something on the side of the road that I want to stop at, guess what? I'm stopping. It was always Jonathan that needed to get there and stuff. I never slowed down. I was always on his time. Now we're doing on my time, and I'm ready to live my life. So we're going to stop. We want to stop, we stop. We see a roadside sign somewhere, we're going to stop. We're going to stop. So you might want to stick around, because if I stop at an attraction, you're going to want to be here. I don't know if there's anything. I'm on I-75. Who knows? But if we see something interesting, we're going to stop. All right, guys, I love you. God bless. We'll see you soon. I don't know where I am in Georgia. We've been talking for at least, oh, wow, we've been chatting for an hour. So that means that we were only 17 minutes away from the Georgia line. So we're about a half an hour into Georgia. I think I'm in Georgia for like 4 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. And then I think I'm briefly in North Carolina, and then maybe it's South, I don't remember, and then I'm in Tennessee, and then I'm in Tennessee going wherever the hell I gotta go, which is Nashville, which is further than, I wonder if we should take a trip. I may have to take a trip, even on the way back, even if it makes me come in on the July 4th, I may have to take a trip to Hawkins. Maybe I'll take a trip to Hawkins County. I don't know. All right, guys, either way, we'll see you soon. Love you, bye.